Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's 12:12 and time for Awareness Moments with Kyra. And it truly is an honor and privilege to be with each of you this day. It has been a very powerful time where we continue to roll through these experiences of being in an inner place, of opening ourselves to ways to celebrate life in the midst of all that is occurring. It doesn't mean that we don't get to face what's going on right now, and I just really want to emphasize that. I'm known for being someone to bring the joy and to bring the blessings of knowing this divine love and this divine order is going to occur out of this experience. But it doesn't mean that we don't have deep pain, fear, different experiences. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday. You know, in this time of awareness, the most important thing that we can do is to bring that ability to be at home in ourselves. We're walking through this Easter week. This is Holy Week. This is a time where we recognize something amazing is happening. But in the play of those experiences didn't always appear so wonderful. And we also get to say, am I willing? Am I willing to be at play in this Easter experience? Even that which shouts Hosanna can turn and have a different view at another moment. And yet that represents every particle of our being that is aligned with recognizing we're overcoming error consciousness. We're overcoming the way of life as it has been, the belief system that would keep us in bondage to the past. It is time to set ourselves free, to know that we are more than what we've understood ourselves to be. Isn't that the demonstration of Jesus' life in this Holy Week? And those that absolutely thought he was the greatest were also those that turned on him at a later time. And we also get to recognize the thoughts within ourselves that so defined ourselves by the life we were living, by the way that we valued, what we spent our time and energy on. Now, instead, we're reevaluating. I was on a Zoom just a moment ago with all of my Paul Selig study group. And, you know, as we were working with this material and listening to one another, we recognized in that moment that many of us have let go of the idea of what would be and quit bemoaning what isn't, and instead have started to set free what's possible. It's the message of this week, really, of what Jesus demonstrated this coming weekend was a realization of things that overcame the world as it was, of the ways we believed it had to be, of ways they believed at that time what was possible. And we are learning to overcome what we've believed as the way it should be, or what was most important, or all the activity and the hustle and the bustle and the ways that we lived out in the world moment by moment. What if, just what if we're meant to come to this greater realization of what is truly valuable? This morning in our neighborhood, they had a bear hunt. I know if you've heard of these yet, but they have families put out a notice on our neighborhood group about putting bears in your windows, your car windows or your house windows. And I was doing my Zoom with our class, and as I was doing it, I didn't have a bear right then, but I stuck up a stuffed animal, an owl I call Wilson, and he was in the window, and all these families were coming by in golf carts, walking, and the kids were out looking for the bears in the windows everywhere, or the stuffed animals. And this beautiful experience of the joy when they saw somebody else had added a bear to their window or a stuffed figure to their window was a simple joy. But I can't tell you, it brought tears to my eyes, and it touched my soul to see these families out exploring together new ways of reaching out and saying, how do we touch into one another? And and let each other know that the simple things can have the greatest joy within our soul. Our soul has longed to simplify in our world, and we've not known how to do it. How do we stop the rat race and the wheel that we've been on and say, let me slow down. Let me breathe deeply. What a great idea. Everybody take a breath with me. Let it go. Know that we are called to value the simple gift of life, the simple gift of our connections in unique and wondrous ways. How we've taken for granted so much of life, so much of the activity of our life. How the things that were unimportant consumed our time, our energy. And we've not really been fully present with ourselves or one another. And what's happening is we're being invited to be more fully present. And as we take down the walls of separation that looked like connection in a lot of ways, but actually were separation in other ways, that we begin to realize in this moment that the simple things, a gaze into someone's eyes and a smile, an opportunity to reach out with a phone call, to even text or communicate in various ways, to send a written card to somebody through the mail because we can't get to them. You know, I've had that experience with my dad in his nursing home, and he's been a little challenged with his phone. He can't seem to get it to work. And so I've sent him cards. And, you know, when we get to communicate, I know it will be great. I miss being able to touch base, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that we are connected. And each one of us are finding the simplistic ways of bringing awareness to the moment. We talked about that yesterday. And bringing joy and fun to the moment. To be able to wave and smile at each other. To smile with our eyes if we have a mask on our face. And to know that we're communicating in powerful ways. I've never had so many people, as I walk the neighborhood, wave and smile and say hello. Every age, the little boy riding his bike, or the family, or the neighbors that are talking across the lawn to each other. People are actually engaging rather than just glued to their phones or walking away from each other and not even noticing the other one there. It's very meaningful. My heart is very wide open today. Today is the full moon, and you may be feeling those energies as well. If you're as sensitive like I am, where we really feel into these energies and experience them so fully. And so like my heart is deeply touched today by so many things, by thoughts of people that I love, and by experiences of connecting, even if it's online. Seeing you on here touches my heart, and I am grateful for each of your presence, and those that I know well and those that I may not. I feel the power of our collective consciousness by choosing to stay in a harmony. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm also not experiencing the grief. I heard of a loved one that lost her son, not necessarily related to COVID, but even so, to lose a child is never an easy thing. And so my heart just rips open for her. You know, he was 45, but still, that should never happen. You should never have to lose a child before you, right? And so every one of us have those experiences where we feel the power of each moment. And what is powerful to know as truth within my own being? Where do I go at a level of soul? Where do I go in my connections with others? Of reaching out and knowing that, I feel more powerfully than ever the connections that I have. Those that maybe I've touched in from way in the past, or those from very current life experiences. Each one is someone to feel that joy of connection, and to smile and know that we are never disconnected. We are unified in one field of light, in one field of consciousness. And so we feel what each other feels. So when my friend hurts, my heart hurts. When my friend is in joy, my heart is in joy. And so I think more than ever, we're being invited to a deeper awareness of what is the experience in this now moment. What is the experience that's here, and how do I capitalize on it in a way that makes a deeper connection, makes me more alive in the divine presence that's available. Whether I think of the presence of God, whether it's seeing the Christ in one another, the Christ light in each other's eyes as we see each other, of it's honoring whatever each one is feeling right now. Those that are in deep grief and challenge and are really struggling with this, and those that have moved into acceptance and are finding creativity and ways to express that maybe they've longed for. You know, I've longed to kind of just share inspiration with people. It is really what I do best and what I love to do, and to touch others' hearts and souls and to see them in the truth of their being so that they can see themselves in that truth. I love that. And here I'm getting to do this every day with you. And what a joy that is. What a fulfillment that brings to me, to touch in and just share how magnificent I know you to be, how resourceful and powerful you each are, how many ways that we can touch each other's heart and soul and behold that truth of one another. This moment, I see and know you as a divine expression, and whatever you are feeling and experiencing right now, I am more whole by knowing your heart and soul, because we are one. And if any part of me is feeling separate from the wholeness of the divine and the wholeness of life, it's because I feel separate from some part of myself that may look like you. And I love that deep, deep connection and that awareness that we are one in this moment and in every moment. And it is simple to touch into that sacred and then to express that in each moment. It seems that all the hubbub of the thoughts that keep us from seeing one another, from being present to ourselves and each other, as they quiet down in the quieting of our world. And I know for me, I'll say it's also busy. It's a busy time. I'm on a lot of Zoom classes and meetings and different things, and yet there's still just a deep peace and presence. And so the more I feel that, the more I hear you, I experience you, I know you for the truth of who you are at all the levels of your expression, the more I am made whole, and I rise and ascend out of the darkness, out of the tomb I've had myself entrapped in, a tomb of busyness and a tomb of self-identification as something less than the wholeness that I am. I am grateful to be present with each one of you, to know you for who you are. If there's a way that I can touch in and know you more, let me know. Let me know who you want me to know you as in this true time of coming into the light of all that we're meant to be. I am grateful to be with all of you, to share these awareness moments, to invite us to revel in the experience of this now. This is a night of a full moon, and it's a powerful time to feel the fullness of all of the feelings, all of the experiences of life, and to set ourselves free to be fully in the moment. May you have a glorious day, a glorious night, and I bless you all, and I'm grateful to share these awareness moments. I look forward to being back with you tomorrow. Let me know how I can bless you and your life. I look forward to finding even more ways to do that. You are a blessing to mine, and your presence deeply touches me. I'm grateful for each one of you. I wish I could touch you in person, but I'm grateful to touch in this way. God bless you, friends. Have a fabulous, fabulous day.